Kazakhstan is a country that defies easy description. It's a place of staggering scale, a land so vast it could swallow most of Western Europe whole. Imagine a country stretching from the Caspian Sea in the west to the Altai Mountains in the east, sharing borders with giants like Russia and China. This is the 9th largest country in the world, yet one that often remains a mystery to outsiders. Its sheer size means it contains an incredible diversity of landscapes, from the endless flat steppe that seems to touch the sky, to snow-capped peaks that rival any in the world. It's a place where you can drive for hours and see nothing but the curvature of the earth, a humbling and truly awe-inspiring experience. The geography here is a story of extremes. The Great Kazakh Steppe, an immense sea of grass, is one of the largest dry steppe regions on the planet. It's a landscape that has shaped the very soul of the Kazakh people, a place of harsh winters and baking summers. But Kazakhstan is not just flat. In the southeast, the mighty Tian Shan Mountains rise dramatically, their name meaning celestial mountains. Here you find glaciers, pristine alpine lakes, and deep valleys carved by ancient rivers. This contrast between the flatlands and the highlands creates a country of two distinct personalities, each with its own unique beauty and challenges for the people who call it home. One of the most striking things about Kazakhstan is its emptiness. Despite its enormous size, its population is relatively small, around 19 million people. This means there are vast tracts of wilderness that are virtually untouched by human hands. It's a place where nature still holds sway, where you can feel a profound sense of solitude and connection to the planet. The country is landlocked, but it has its own inland sea, the Caspian, and once held a significant portion of the Aral Sea, a name now synonymous with ecological disaster. This relationship with water, or the lack of it, is a central theme in the story of Kazakhstan, shaping its history, its economy, and its future. The borders of Kazakhstan tell a story of their own, a complex tapestry woven from centuries of history. To the north, the long border with Russia is a reminder of the Soviet era and the deep ties that still exist between the two nations. To the east, the border with China marks the ancient Silk Road, a route that once brought merchants, ideas, and cultures together. In the south, it borders Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, nations that share a common heritage of nomadic life and Central Asian traditions. This unique position has made Kazakhstan a crossroads, a place where East meets West, and where ancient history sits alongside a bold modern identity. To understand Kazakhstan, you have to look back in time, to the nomadic tribes who roamed these vast steppes for thousands of years. These were the Scythians, the Huns, the Turks, and the Mongols, people who lived and died by the horse. They were masters of the grasslands, following their herds of sheep, goats, and camels in a constant search for fresh pasture. Their homes were yurts, ingenious circular tents made of felt and wood, which could be easily packed up and moved. This nomadic lifestyle wasn't just a way of surviving. It was a deeply ingrained culture built on freedom, resilience, and a profound connection to the land and the sky. The spirit of the nomad is still alive in Kazakhstan today. You can see it in the national symbols, like the eagle and the sun on the flag, and hear it in the haunting melodies of the dombra, a traditional two-stringed instrument. Although most Kazakhs now live in cities, the values of hospitality and community, forged in the harsh conditions of the steppe, remain incredibly strong. A guest is considered a gift from God, and you'll often be welcomed into a home with open arms and a table groaning with food. This legacy of the Silk Road, where travelers brought news and goods, has created a culture that is naturally curious and open to the outside world. The arrival of the Russian Empire in the 18th century, and later the Soviet Union, brought profound and often brutal changes. The nomadic way of life was forcibly ended during the Soviet period, with people forced into settled collective farms. This led to devastating famines and a tragic loss of life and culture. The Russian language was imposed, and the traditional Arabic script was replaced with Cyrillic. This era left deep scars, but it also added another complex layer to the country's identity. It brought industrialization, education, and infrastructure, but at a tremendous human cost, creating a society that is a unique blend of Asian and European influences. Today, you can see these different historical layers everywhere you look. In the cities, you might see a modern glass skyscraper standing next to a stern, concrete Soviet-era apartment block. You'll hear people switching effortlessly between speaking Kazakh and Russian. The country is navigating this complex heritage, rediscovering its ancient roots while embracing the aspects of its more recent past that have shaped it. It's a delicate balancing act, a process of forging a new national identity from the echoes of nomads, the influence of the Silk Road, the legacy of the Tsars, and the shadow of the Soviet Union. This mix is what makes Kazakhstan so utterly fascinating. If you want to see the future of Kazakhstan, you must visit its capital city, Nur-Sultan, more commonly known by its former name, Astana. This is a city that seems to have been plucked from the pages of a science fiction novel and planted right in the middle of the vast, empty steppe. Built almost from scratch since it became the capital in 1997, Astana is a dazzling showcase of bold, futuristic architecture. It's a statement of intent, a symbol of the country's ambition and its oil-fueled prosperity. Walking through its wide, clean boulevards feels like stepping into a different world, a stark contrast to the ancient landscapes that surround it. The skyline is dominated by incredible structures designed by world-renowned architects. There's the Bayturek Tower, a 105-meter-tall monument that looks like a giant white tree holding a golden egg. According to legend, it represents a mythical tree of life, where a magic bird laid its egg. You can take a lift to the top and place your hand in a golden handprint of the country's first president, Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev, while looking out over the city he built. Then there's the Khan Shatter, a gigantic, transparent tent-like structure that serves as a shopping and entertainment center, complete with an indoor beach and water park to escape the harsh winter. The architecture is not just for show, it's deeply symbolic. The Palace of Peace and Reconciliation is a perfect pyramid, designed by the British architect Norman Foster, built to host a congress of world and traditional religions. It contains an opera house, a museum, and conference halls, all bathed in light that filters through its stained glass apex. The presidential palace, the Ak Orda, with its blue dome and golden spire, is a grand statement of national power and pride. This city is a carefully constructed narrative telling a story of a modern, tolerant, and forward-looking nation that is open for business and ready to take its place on the world stage. But for all its futuristic gleam, Astana is a city still finding its soul. It was built at a breathtaking pace, and sometimes it can feel a little sterile, a little too perfectly planned. The winters here are brutally cold, some of the coldest of any capital city in the world, and the summers can be intensely hot. Yet more and more people are moving here, drawn by the opportunities and the promise of a new beginning. Astana represents the incredible contrast at the heart of modern Kazakhstan, a nation deeply rooted in ancient traditions that is simultaneously racing towards a high-tech, globalized future. It's a bold experiment, and one that is fascinating to witness firsthand. While Astana is the futuristic brain of Kazakhstan, Almaty remains its beating heart and cultural soul. Nestled in the foothills of the magnificent Tian Shan Mountains, this is the country's largest city and former capital. It has a completely different feel to Astana. It's a city with a deep history, leafy green streets, and a vibrant creative energy. Almaty feels more lived in, more organic. Its name translates to Father of Apples, as this region is believed to be the ancestral home of the modern apple. You can still find wild apple forests in the mountains that surround the city, a living link to its ancient past. The city itself is a wonderful place to explore on foot. You can wander through Panfilov Park, a beautiful green space dedicated to 28 soldiers who died fighting in World War II. At its center stands the incredible Zenkov Cathedral, one of the world's tallest wooden buildings, constructed entirely without nails. It's a riot of color, a beautiful piece of Tsarist-era architecture that miraculously survived a major earthquake and the officially atheist Soviet period. The city is also home to bustling markets like the Green Bazaar, where you can lose yourself in a sensory overload of spices, fresh produce, meats, and the delicious local cheese known as kurt. What makes Almaty truly special, however, is its stunning natural backyard. The mountains are not just a beautiful backdrop, they are the city's playground. A short bus or cable car ride can take you from the bustling city center to the Mediu ice skating rink, perched high in a mountain valley. Go a little further and you reach the Shimbalak ski resort, offering fantastic skiing in the winter and incredible hiking in the summer. The air becomes crisp and cool, and the views of the snow-capped peaks like Peak Talgar are simply breathtaking. This easy access to wild, dramatic nature is something that defines life in Almaty. The city has a thriving arts and cafe scene, driven by a young, creative population. You can find trendy coffee shops, contemporary art galleries, and a wide range of restaurants serving everything from traditional Kazakh cuisine to international dishes. There's a palpable buzz here, a sense of optimism and creativity that is infectious. Almaty manages to perfectly blend its Soviet past with a modern cosmopolitan vibe, all while being cradled by some of the most beautiful mountains on Earth. It's a city that invites you to slow down, breathe in the fresh mountain air, and soak up its unique and welcoming atmosphere. Beyond the cities, Kazakhstan transforms into a land of epic natural wonders, a vast canvas painted with the most dramatic colors and shapes. One of its most spectacular masterpieces is the Charyn Canyon, often called the Grand Canyon's little brother. Located just a few hours' drive from Almaty, this is a place that, honestly, just takes your breath away. Over millions of years, the Charyn River has carved a stunning 90-kilometer-long canyon through the red sandstone of the steppe. The result is a surreal landscape of towering rock formations, pillars, and arches that look like ancient castles and, well, even strange creatures. Walking through the Valley of Castles, the most famous part of the canyon, feels like entering another world. The scale of it is immense, and the silence is broken only by the wind whistling through the rock formations. The colors change throughout the day, from pale orange in the morning to a deep, fiery red as the sun begins to set. You can hike down to the bottom and follow the path of the river, a ribbon of green and blue that provides a lush contrast to the dry red rock all around. It's a powerful reminder of the immense forces of nature that have shaped this land over millennia, a truly humbling and unforgettable place. Kazakhstan is also a land of incredible lakes, scattered like jewels across its vast territory. Close to Almaty, high up in the Tian Shan Mountains, you'll find Big Almaty Lake. Its color is almost unbelievable, a stunning turquoise that seems to glow, changing its shade depending on the season and the time of day. The lake is fed by glacial water and it's surrounded by 3 majestic snow-dusted peaks. It's a picture-perfect scene, a slice of alpine paradise that feels a world away from the steppe below. The water is freezing cold, but the view is more than enough to warm the soul. Further east, towards the border with Kyrgyzstan, lie the Kolsai and Kandy lakes. The Kolsai lakes are a series of 3 pristine alpine lakes, connected by a beautiful hiking trail that takes you through lush forests and meadows. But it's Lake Kandy that is truly unique. It was formed after an earthquake in 1911 triggered a massive landslide, creating a natural dam. The forest in the valley was flooded, and today the tall, bleached trunks of the spruce trees rise eerily from the turquoise water like the masts of sunken ships. It's a hauntingly beautiful, almost supernatural sight, a testament to nature's power to create something beautiful out of destruction. The history of Kazakhstan is etched into its very landscape, in ancient stones and forgotten cities that whisper tales of bygone eras. Long before the great empires, this land was home to early humans who left their mark in the form of petroglyphs, or rock carvings. At Tamgali Tas, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, you can find thousands of these carvings, depicting everything from hunting scenes and animals to sun-headed deities and shamanic rituals. These images are a window into the beliefs and daily lives of people who lived here thousands of years ago, a direct connection to the country's deep and ancient spiritual roots. This is also the land where the horse was first domesticated, a revolutionary moment in human history that changed everything from transport and warfare to agriculture. The bowtie culture, which existed in northern Kazakhstan around 3500 BC, are believed to be among the first people in the world to ride horses. This deep connection to the horse is fundamental to the Kazakh identity. The horse provided transport, food, like meat and fermented mare's milk, or kumis, and was a symbol of freedom and status. This legacy is still celebrated today in traditional horse games like kokpar, a fierce and thrilling form of polo played with a goat carcass. One of the most powerful symbols of the nomadic heritage is the tradition of eagle hunting, or berkuchi. For centuries, Kazakh hunters on the steppe have formed an incredible bond with golden eagles, training them from a young age to hunt foxes, rabbits, and even wolves. This is not just a method of hunting, it's a sacred art form, a partnership built on mutual respect and trust between man and bird. Seeing an eagle hunter, or berkuchi, on horseback, with his magnificent bird perched on his gloved arm, is an unforgettable sight. It's a living piece of history, a tradition passed down through generations that speaks to a deep understanding of the natural world. The rhythms of the past can also be felt in the cuisine. Traditional Kazakh food is hearty and rustic, designed to sustain a nomadic lifestyle in a harsh environment. The national dish is beshbarmak, which means 5 fingers because it was traditionally eaten by hand. It consists of finely chopped boiled meat, usually horse or mutton, mixed with noodles and a flavorful broth called sorpa. You'll also find delicious breads like barsak, small, puffy balls of fried dough, and of course, kumis, the salty, slightly fizzy, fermented mare's milk. Sharing a meal like this is a fundamental part of Kazakh hospitality and a delicious way to connect with the culture. In the middle of the vast, flat, and seemingly empty steppe of southern Kazakhstan lies one of the most extraordinary places on Earth, the Baikonur Cosmodrome. This is where the space race began. It was from here that the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite, in 1957, and it was from here that Yuri Gagarin, the first human in space, blasted off into orbit in 1961. For decades, this secretive facility was the heart of the Soviet space program, a place where science fiction became science fact, hidden away from the prying eyes of the world. Today, the Baikonur Cosmodrome is still the world's busiest and largest space launch facility. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Kazakhstan leased the site to Russia, and it remains the primary launch pad for Russian space missions, including all manned flights to the International Space Station. It's an incredible piece of living history, a place where the Soviet past meets the future of international space exploration. Visiting Baikonur is a surreal experience. You can see the very launch pads used for those historic missions, stand next to giant Soyuz rockets, and even visit the small cottage where Gagarin spent his last night on Earth before his momentous journey. Witnessing a rocket launch from Baikonur is a truly once-in-a-lifetime event. The ground trembles, and a deafening roar fills the air as the rocket slowly climbs into the sky, a brilliant spear of fire against the vast emptiness of the steppe. It's a moment of incredible power and human ingenuity, a powerful symbol of our desire to explore the unknown. The contrast is immense, one of the most technologically advanced operations on the planet, taking place in one of the most remote and ancient landscapes. It perfectly captures the paradox that is modern Kazakhstan. But Baikonur is just one part of Kazakhstan's modern story. The country's immense natural resources, particularly its vast reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, have fueled a dramatic economic transformation since independence. This wealth has funded the construction of futuristic cities like Astana and powered the nation's ambitious development goals. It has created new industries and opportunities, turning Kazakhstan into a major player on the world stage. The journey from a nomadic society to a Soviet republic and now to a spacefaring, resource-rich nation is a remarkable story of change and resilience. Ultimately, the greatest treasure of Kazakhstan is its people. This is a country that has been a crossroads for centuries, a meeting point for different cultures, ethnicities, and religions. Today, it is home to over 130 different ethnic groups, including Kazakhs, Russians, Uzbeks, Ukrainians, and Germans, all living together in remarkable harmony. This multiculturalism is not just a demographic fact, it's a core part of the national identity, enshrined in the country's constitution and celebrated in its culture. This diversity has created a society that is open, resilient, and incredibly welcoming to outsiders. The famous Kazakh hospitality is something that every visitor experiences. It's a genuine warmth and curiosity that makes you feel instantly at home. Whether you are invited into a family yurt on the steppe for a bowl of kumis, or you're sharing a meal in a modern Almaty apartment, you are treated not just as a guest, but as a friend. This spirit of openness is perhaps the country's most endearing quality. In a world that often seems divided, Kazakhstan offers a hopeful example of how people from different backgrounds can build a shared future together. Kazakhstan is a land of endless surprises. It's a country that constantly challenges your preconceptions. It is a place where you can ski in pristine mountains in the morning and be in a desert-like canyon by the afternoon. You can witness an ancient tradition like eagle hunting one day and watch a rocket blast off into space the next. It's this incredible blend of the ancient and the futuristic, the wild and the sophisticated, that makes it such a compelling destination. It's a country that hasn't been polished for mass tourism, which means that every experience feels authentic and every discovery feels your own. For the curious traveler, the one who seeks more than just a simple holiday, Kazakhstan is a revelation. It's a journey into a land of vast horizons, deep history, and boundless ambition. It's a chance to explore one of the planet's last great wildernesses and to witness a new nation being forged before your very eyes. It is a place that will expand your understanding of the world and leave you with memories of incredible landscapes and, most importantly, the warmth of its people. Kazakhstan is not just a destination, it's an adventure waiting to happen.